What's going on, Pokemon League Championship fans? It is me, Mura, aka your CEO here. Just ready for another week of streams with you guys for the PLC Season 9 Week 4 stream. So, we've got some pretty awesome matches today to showcase. Some not so awesome, but you know how it goes with just match recordings can not always be the best, but neither here nor there. So let's kick off into the excuse me, unrecorded matches, and then we'll go from there. I do need to reach out to Time because for whatever. Oh hey, cool, we got him. Alright, give me 1 second, guys, and we'll kick off with. This is Mike versus Evan. So, give me 1 second. Okay. So Mike versus Evan. I mean, obviously, you know, Mike is one of the best players in the league. And Evan still struggling. No offense, Evan. Sorry. Evan's still struggling to get his first PLC W. So he's really trying this week. Hopefully he can pick it up against Mike. Results perfect. Thank you, Ty, for getting that to me at the last second there. Sorry about the delay, everybody. I know it's been a little bit of a hectic start this morning. I just finished making breakfast for my family, so things kind of went awry. So let's get into the results of this Mike versus Evan match here. Boom. So we got Mike taking it by 3. So unfortunately, Evan's still not able to pull out his first PLCW quite yet. And yeah, it's just me this morning right now. Zach is unfortunately busy. He had some family stuff to attend to, so you know how these morning streams go. A little hectic, but we're doing our best to get everything done and everybody reported properly. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up after Ty and Brian got us their match finally at the last second here, like right before. And I did not know that before I started cooking breakfast, so that's a thing. Give me 1 second, and I get these into our screen cap folder, and we should be good to go. Boom. Alright, cool. Okay, so Mike beats Evan by 4. That's going to bring us over to Justin versus Brendan. So let's check out those teams real quick. Justin versus Brendan. So obviously Justin bringing his Snow Corrigan. Oh, we finally get to see Bramblin, I think it's called. Pachirisu is there. Brendan bringing what looks to be kind of a snow team. He's looking like he's going to try to take advantage of Justin's snow, but also he has the Slow King in case he needs to set his own snow with chilling reception for his Titan. And then he's got his, what is this thing? His Matcha. I forget what they call this thing. It's such a new Pokemon. Sinestro. So Sinestro is a really great support Pokemon. He's bringing that this week. He's got a pretty solid squad here versus Justin. Justin still trying to stake his claim. I don't think he's gotten a W this season, so let's see what the results are of this. Oh, wrong one. Don't look. Boop. We have Brendan taking it by 4. So Brendan using Justin's own team against him to top in the snow to get everybody chilly and set up. That's the Titan Slush Rush. And unfortunately, it looks like it really did work out for him in his favor against Justin, and he takes it by 4. So that is pretty staunch victory there. Justin or Brendan getting a good score in there and moving up the ranks there. So let's move over to, we have Stephen Berlin versus Jay Wade. So that should be around here. Boom. Okay, cool. So Jay Wade's team, is just pretty generic. Looks like he got a little bit of a Trick Room core going this week, even though he hates it. Snorlax coming in staunch, tough, thick with the Choice Band, probably putting up mad bodies. He's got the Meowstic, which is setting up his screens, obviously with the Light Clay support there. Blastoise just life orbing to hell. Rabska's got the Citrus Berry, so maybe he can bust off a little revival blessing there. I'm not quite sure if we get that here. And then over on SB's team, we got Metagross. Alright, let's see what SB, sorry SB. Let's see what the results are here. And it looks like Wade takes it by 3, so good W for Jay Wade. I know that he's trying to make sure he gets in that top 4 just like everybody else. So the score is so important now as he continues to win, because I think he does have a loss on his record. So he wants to shore that victory up as much as possible. And that's what we got for him. So next is Brian versus Ty. Again, I know it says Danny. This is Brian. Excuse me, guys. We're zooming through these unrecorded matches because, as we all know, they are not that important. Well, no offense to the people. It's just we don't have footage, so there's not a lot to talk about. Ty going with a little bit of his sun team. He's finally got the Slitherwing to take advantage of the sunny day that gets automatically set by his Ninetales. So that's really cool. He's got his Sun Sweeper, Victreebel there. A little bit of a hard-hitting Infernape to come up against Brian's Sand team. So Brian bringing presumably normal gem Hitmonlee again. He's got the Excadrill to take advantage of its Sand Sweeper ability. I'm sure he put the same ability on his Grevard, so he can use Last Respects really quickly. This is probably like the most cohesive team that Brian's brought yet this season. It's definitely his Sand Core. It's got all the pieces that you would need, except that it's very physically heavy. So if Ty had a good special defense here, he could probably get some good protections off and maybe turn that around. Let's see what the Brian versus Ty results are. And unfortunately for Ty, it looks like Brian takes it by 5. So that's a really tough loss for Ty, but congratulations on Brian getting such a high score. That's really good for the plus minus further on in the season. We only have a few of those like 4s, 5s, and 6s that go down, so those scores are always ending up higher than the other people when they get to the tiebreakers. Excuse me, you love to see that. And then we have our last unrecorded match, which is Phil, who took over for Osamu. So Osamu dropped this last week because he felt like people were plotting against him or whatever. Not really clear what his problem was there. I think he just didn't like that he lost the tie, and so he dropped. And so Phil comes in as our first alternate, Alt 1 as his new Slack King is called. And he fills in for Isamu, taking over his team and going up against Jay Grants. Jay Grants got her first W last week, so she's looking to keep that train rolling. We've got the Cerule Edge, her favorite puppy cat, Sylveon, Hisuian Zoroark, her Screamtail, or not Screamtail, sorry, Roaring Moon, the Raikou, and the Inteleon, trying to just put damage on the board, get some good spreads off. Phil got his Weezing shutdown abilities and got his Slack King to try to put big damage on board as fast as possible. So I did get a little bit of intel on this match. I'm told that Weezing really put in a lot of work, not just like shutting down abilities, but also toxicking like pretty much everything. Apparently there was a lot of toxic going around, and that apparently just chipped away at Grants' team and gave Phil the W by 3. So he was able to come in for his first week as an alternate and secure that dub for his new team by 3. He takes it from Grants, getting the smooth W there. I see you over there, Jordan. What are you typing?
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, what's good? Alright, so
sorry.
no worries. That's all the unrecorded matches. So Jordan, thank you for joining us. Looks like Jordan's gonna try to fill in for Zach a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'll get you that match order as soon as I can. Here, I'm about to take a capture of it real quick. Copy. The first one is going to be Zach versus Jay, and the real reason for that is sending it to you a message now.
Like it stops halfway through, or
yeah, pretty much stops like halfway roundabouts through the match, if not like a little bit over half. Because while Zach was recording, he had forgotten to plug his computer up to the charger, so his laptop died in the middle of recording the match, and
he's lucky it saved though. That was clutch as a laptop. So
yeah. I mean, any footage obviously is great footage, and so neither player got the victory screen. We didn't get. I mean, we got the teams and we got the trainer cards, obviously, because we got the first part of the match. But neither person got the victory screen. So I do have the victory results, and I'll announce that as we get to the tail end here.
okay.
But I mean, you already saw it on the sheet, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's all good. That
I
makes sense.
figured I'd put that on there just because like it's there. We don't have a better choice. So over here we've got the Ditto, which everybody is always afraid to see. I think this is like the second time he's had Ditto on his team in general. I mean, he's had Mew a couple times, so transforming is something that Zach really likes on his team, so he can take advantage of your setup. It also, like, one of the main things about having Ditto on your team is just that, like, it's really hard to prepare for because it could take any of your Pokemon's, like, names and just become that Pokemon and use your strength against you. And any setup you do, the Ditto gets automatically, and he has a Choice Scarf on it, so it's going to be faster than the version of it that it copied. So if you set up a Pokemon, if you get like good defense boosts on, like if he gets the stamina boost on the Archulodon, Ditto can take over for any of the Swift Swimmers and be faster. Things can happen. And then obviously, we've got the Son Goku here for setting up the terrain, getting off those sweet, sweet grassy glides. Toys R Us to protect against priority as well as shut down healing with Psychic Noise, and to get the throat spray off for, I think it's Hyper Voice he has access to. So you can hit both things. Normally that's like a Terra Normal just to get extra damage if you wanted it. And then bringing up the end there, his Muck, which, is just as toxic as Zach is.
That was good.
Yeah. So I'm ready to kick this off if you are. All right.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. We're gonna do the 1, 2, 3, go. So 1, 2, 3, and go. This is Zach versus Jay.
This
Longtime
is a rematch
rivalry.
of rematch of season 6 finals. I want to say, right?
Yeah, and this is one of the rival matches, so it's going to be called the Tarakion Tussle, in reference to their legendary. Oh, we gotta actually update these.
Their season 2 fight.
Yeah, well, so like in the season 2 fight, they.
Their season 2, yeah,
Oh,
DMs basically.
snap. We haven't been updating the player tabs.
Oh, I know. I fell off last week. I have
No
2 weeks to
worries.
go.
It's I don't know what we're gonna do about the week 4s.
The teams, or
Yeah, the teams.
no, I'll grab them. I thought about it. I have to go, like, I have to retroactively go back and redo or like undo the transactions. It's
that
all
makes
good.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
I'm not
fell off though.
No worries. I'm not gonna worry about it. I just noticed. But Tarakion Tussle, yeah, because like Zach had spent time in season 2 being like, "Yo, you should get Tarakion, Jay," and then like when it came time to do the wire, he like sniped him for the Tarakion.
And Jay told kind of the whole story on the podcast too. So if you haven't listened yet, just go check it out.
Yeah, the
We
podcast.
asked the Lord there, and he explained it away. So
The podcast is great, man. You guys do a great job with that.
it's interesting. So I feel like what's cool though is we have like the streams. That's like the main point of content for the league, and then we have the podcast as like supplementary content. You know?
Yeah, for sure. No, it definitely like they go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So they had joked about both tearing on turn 1 here. Zach going for the Dragon Terra on his Moltres, so he is going to do the turn 1 Terra, and he's trying to set up Tailwind, so he gets the protection. Obviously, we're not going to get any ground type moves used this turn against the bird because we assume he's not Terra'd, and then he's going to get the free Tailwind potentially, or just get hit with a water move, which he'll resist because he's Dragon.
And what I felt like was interesting, like, you know, taking the Terra out of it. I thought Jay was in a really good spot, like turn 1. Like, just if you look at the Pokemon on the field, it's like, oh, Jay's in a, you know, pretty fantastic spot, to be fair. And
Yeah.
see how that works out. So.
And he's protecting the Sandy Shock so that any ground move that was targeting, if it is a ground move, I'm not sure, but it's not gonna hit this turn. So I think we're gonna just get double Tailwinds here. Oh, and double protect. So we're scouting and setting up.
I feel like that's something you got to do against like these super experienced players. Like, you don't know what they're gonna do right up front, so you scout the protect, or you protect and then scout, and yeah, just kind of see what's gonna happen.
Oh, and then he did not do the Tailwind on Jay's side, so we do get the Tailwind on Zach's side, which is going to make his team faster now. Because the booster energy plus the Tailwind, Sandy Shocks is now zooming across the field. Zach can take advantage of the rain on Jay's side just to use free hurricanes now.
Right. I feel like Jay's not in like the worst spot, considering the Overquill can have what's it called, Swift Swim, so it could still be pretty quick. But you know, that Tailwind on Zach's side really helps out. So
yeah, the Tailwind is pretty huge there.
Right.
He's gonna pull out the Mama Puff.
Dory.
So here's the thing about the Basculegion that really. Oh, is it Focus Sash?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, it is.
So he's probably gonna get the Tailwind up now, right? Hopefully. Here's the problem with this Basculegion 2 is that he had changed it to adaptability last week, and then because he's not like getting his Pokemon Gen or anything, he just forgot. They had like a 2 a.m. match where they were like, let's just get it out of the way, and Jay did not switch the ability back to Swift Swim. So, yeah, the Basculegion does not get to go off, unfortunately, because it is adaptability boosted and not Swift Swim, unfortunately. I wish I had made a announcement earlier in the day, but I woke up at like 9:40, started making breakfast for the family, and we didn't finish eating until like 11.
Yo, Ian, I just hopped back on. I heard you telling the family story, and I've got some family stuff going on there too. I'm gonna stay in, but I've got to clean up a mess that the
No
baby's made.
worries, take your time.
You know how it is. So
I do know how it is. So the
I'll be back in
bird,
like hopefully 2 minutes.
take your time, man. Bird does outspeed Dory, and unfortunately takes it out. I was actually on the call while they were battling too, so like Jay was like, "What the fuck? What happened?" And he's like, "Oh no!" This is he's just reading. He's like, "Damn it! Now I realized I left the Swift Swim off." So we've got already like kind of a bad situation going for Jay here because he's down a Pokemon. He's almost down for his Rain Setter. We're gonna get the Swords Dance set up. We are faster now, but is the Earth Power gonna be enough? And fuck me, dude. It is. Excuse my language. It is enough to take out the Mama Puff. So now we're just fight. We're angling for score now. As Jay. No, the Hydro Pump is gonna take out the Sandy Shocks, luckily, but the remaining attack is just gonna go straight at the bird, and now we're 3-5. So we're at a huge disadvantage on Jay's side. Both our Swift Swimmers are dead, and one unfortunately was not Swift Swim, and then the oh man, you don't want to hear that. That sucks. Alright, Archulodon's coming in. Now we have a chance to kind of turn it around. The problem is any setup that we do with Archulodon with stamina boosts or with Electro Shot can be just straight up copied by Ditto. So really not what a Pokemon to have against Jay's team here. Again, in rain, Electro Shot, the 2-turn move will become a 1-turn move. We're going to get it done in the first turn here. Hurricane's going to hit our Hatterene, and the Calm Mind's going to go off. And then we're going to get the Boom Burst, or sorry, Hyper Voice. So Throat Spray is going to boost, and we're going to hit both these Pokemon for a good amount of damage. And we get the Stamina boost over there. So not ideal. And the rain's done, so our flamethrowers are hitting hard. The electro shots are no longer 1-turn moves. And our flamethrower from the Moltres is not nerfed anymore. I wouldn't copy it yet. I would just leave the Moltres in. Like, why copy it? And get another flamethrower boost. Screw it. You can tell Zach's computer is kind of getting dead here. I'm surprised he didn't see like the notifications being like, "Hey, your computer's dying. Hey, your computer's dying."
No, I didn't get a single notification when it like powered out. It just tapped out. I was just like, "What the fuck?"
And is this it tapped out? Is this it dead now?
Yeah, that when it freezes like that, yeah, it's out. It's done.
Okay, so what'd you end up doing this turn?
Okay, so what happens is, because I just managed to catch a stream when you guys were covering my match. What ends up happening is, I just fire off a blind hurricane once I had Hatterene that does miss, and the giraffe dies that turn.
Oh.
So now, Moltres is alive. I got a dead giraffe. I bring in Ditto to copy the Hatterene Calm Mind boost. He tries the Flash Cannon to now Ditto Hatterene, and it just barely lives because of the Calm Mind boost. Fire off a Dazzling Gleam, Flamethrower, the Duraludon, sorry, the Archaludon, which gets a burn off of Flamethrower, which is cool. And Moltres just kind of did his thing for a while. Like, I kind of pivot out of the Ditto into Muck, to kind of like take into his like poison or steel attacks. And like I said, Moultrie is just kind of doing its thing, just flamethrowing and just pretty much keeping the pace of the match. So the match ends up with a 4-0 with my victory.
That's right. So that's crazy. Your scores. I was just looking over your sheet too. Congratulations on your W. It is unfortunate that you guys decided to do this so last minute and didn't get to both like properly prepare. But I know you guys were not. I don't want to say taking it easy, but you were definitely not where
Yeah.
you potentially could have both been. Um, it was late as fuck too. But at least this time it wasn't like an RNG sweep, which we always hate to see. Um, and it just was like somebody had the preparation in place um, and just a few unfortunate moves on Jay's part, so that sucked. Looking at your win losses this season so far, Zach, it's crazy. You have, except for the Dan match, which went into time,
Uh-huh.
that you won by one because of time. Uh,
Yeah.
you have fours just like all across the board, just like four against
Four
SB,
plus.
four against Jordan, four against Jay, and then the one against Zach. I mean Dan. Um, so you just got
And
the
if I could just keep
fours.
that up, if I can just keep that up for like the next like like what like
We
I think we
have
got what
7 weeks left, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks technically.
yeah, if I can just win by +4 for the next 8 weeks, I'll be looking real good.
Yeah, yeah. I was telling Phil, I was like, man, listen, I need you to beat Zach so I don't have to compete with this win loss ratio. like, I need to be in the top set, and we got some other people that are just like staying up there. Like right now, I'm third place, right? So I'm right behind you and Aris. The win losses are crazy for you two. So like this is before the updated from this week, but like you guys are 3-0s. I'm 3-0. Me, you, and Mike and Aris are all 3-0. Uh, Mike's score is the lowest out of the three of us, so he's in the fourth spot. But like I'm next up with 7, so I have like 3 points on Mike last week. You have 9, so you're 2 ahead of me last week, but now you get the 4, so you'll be at 13, and then Aris is at 13 right now. So even if he if Aris just wins this match this week, unless it's by 0, he maintains spot. Um, and we're all playing catch up for Aris until he either takes a loss or we pass him in score, which is not super likely with his record this week or this year. He's also had like I don't want to say like he's had a schedule that has been largely in favor of him. But next week he plays against Mike, so like that is a chance to see some upset. So like if Mike can beat his brother,
That means automatically we're gonna have one less undefeated, no matter what.
yeah, exactly. So that is gonna break the top ranks automatically. Um, by one of them winning. Mike's team is disgusting, and they both have super intimate knowledge of each other's play styles. So, um, really interesting position for them to be in. That's automatically going to break the top set there. You play Phil next week, which we'll talk about that at the end of the week or the end of the matches. But um, you know, Phil, a little rusty, trying to get a feel for his team. He's got 2 weeks under his, or this is just 1 week, right? He just got 1 week under his belt now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he's trying to get a feel for his team. He's having fun with it, but I don't want to say it's an easy W for you because it's not necessarily, but also like the fact that Phil is coming in late to the season with some rust on him,
Yeah.
definitely doesn't put you in a great position, or him against a player like you who's been, I mean, just a top player in general, and then playing the whole season with the team that you drafted, you know. So
matchup.
Then yeah, then I have Jay next week because I always play the person that you fought last week. Ooh, undo that. Undo.
And now he's gonna be on point when you guys play.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like I always have to like pick up after you, and the players are like always mad and like ready
like,
to just
I had to beat last week. I need the
yeah
get my.
ready to beat my ass because you won last week. So like I have to struggle. My score's always tighter sets, but whatever, not a big deal. But that
That's
brings
funny.
us to a Reese versus Speakman. So a Reese versus Speakman.
All right. Well, okay.
All right, word. Have a good one. A Reese versus Speakman is our next match. Appreciate you stopping in to explain what happened with your stream there, Zach. Again, Zach's hanging out with family, so he is not here for this week.
Yo, I thought Zach was here for good. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. He just popped in to explain himself for why that match didn't finish.
No, fair.
But this is Speakman versus Aris. We spent a lot of time on the last little bit explaining that, so we're just gonna kick this off. You got the matchup at all, Jay? Or did you okay, cool.
Yeah, we're good.
So Sun Team with Wheezing to shut off other abilities, and yeah, let's see what happens. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and go.
Let's roll.
I appreciate Aris every week. He takes a little bit of feedback. So like, you know, this week he goes right into the match starting. His volume is actually higher because normally his volume's a little bit lower. I gotta like turn it up. So he like got his recording volumes up. And every week his recordings are like, this is probably like, this is where we want it right here. His volume is good, and he started the match like immediately. Like, this is good.
Dope.
He also always gets like the naming convention right, except for like one small thing, which isn't even that big a deal, which is like the verses. He just says VS, and I've been doing like capital V, lowercase s, period, and like it doesn't really matter, but just to have everything uniform, I'm like so anal about it. I go back and rename everything.
The consistency. I probably should do mine too, actually.
I mean, I rename everybody's before I download them anyway, so like they come out like just for the match setup, you know. And then I've also been like in past seasons, I don't do the screen caps all the way, but like this season I've been taking the screen caps really seriously. So like every week I have all the screen caps that are available in the screen cap folder, so anybody can like go for history purposes. Really, it's just ease of use for you later on.
No, it makes sense. And just the sake of consistency, any season you have, you know, you can refer back to. It's right there.
Yeah.
So it is cool to have that stuff. Yeah, I agree.
And also, I always keep these. I always keep the file folders for each season, like on a off PC hard drive. So like I have pretty much every season on a hard drive so far.
Oh, that's dope. It'll be nice when we get to like I always think about the PLC as like the NFL.
Yeah.
Where it's like the NFL has like how many seasons? 50, 60, you know?
Yeah.
We got 9, 10, so it's like we're right there, you know what I mean?
Dude, we get 10 seasons on our books, right? So we get next season out of the way. I can like send that footage to like you to. I'll make sure I get everything I can off the YouTube if I'm missing anything in the folders, because I think I might be missing like season 1 or 2. Go back and download those off the YouTube, and then just like, oh, Chloroblast is gonna pick up the Don fan. But I can go back and just like legit hook it up and just give that to like you or Reese, whoever wants to do any sort of editing, you know?
Right. We do see the Chloroblast. Cabal takes some damage, still lives. I'm sure that was nice. Dazzling Gleam almost picks up the Hydra. Wait, that's not Hydreigon. What is that? That's
That is
Iron Jugulis.
Iron Jugulis, yeah. So this is a hard decision. I mean, he can always move out the Wheezing, but like any Pokemon he brings in is not going to have its ability. So
Right.
here we bring in the Azumarill. We probably want that huge power, so we're probably going to swap out the Wheezing, I feel like.
Yeah, Choice Band Azumarill, huge power goes crazy. What's interesting is I would almost think that the Scrafty, to threaten the Fake Out, but it's kind of an interesting choice.
Well, yeah, but then he loses the Intimidate, so it's not a huge deal. He's not gonna. Looks like he's gonna leave in the Wheezing and just go to swap out for just to eat this Fake Out / maybe Double Shock.
Right. Well, that's actually not a bad choice though, because now you have Fake Out pressure this turn, and the Dazzling Gleam is going to pick up the Iron Jugulis.
Ooh, good call on Speakman's point. Yeah, so the Fake Out stops the Jugulis from dying.
Right.
We get an Air Slash on the Scrafty, so like not excellent, not bad though.
All right, so now Reese has Fake Out pressure, and again, you probably want to protect the Jugulis. And the Dazzling Gleam is going to be super effective against the Palmont, so we'll see how this plays out.
He swapped out the Palmont for Arbry Lava, but again, we're not getting abilities, so we're not going to actually set up.
I might be like 4 seconds behind.
Oh, here, I'll just let me see.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Boom, there. All right, we get the Protect. Are we good now?
I think so.
Yeah, cool. I timed it perfectly. Alright, so no grassy terrain gets set up because we have the Wheezing shutting down stuff. Wheezing with Choice Scarf is really interesting because it's not exactly gonna outspeed everything. It's still not super fast, but now he can just like put pressure on the board. The typing is great. The Poison Fairy, just a great typing.
Yeah, and that spread damage just chipping away too. Because again, he always threatens a KO with Dazzling right here in this situation, so it's not a bad situation to be in.
Yeah. It's pretty excellent.
Mm-hmm. There goes the switch. Yep. You don't want to lose that Mon for nothing. But this is going to be super effective though.
And that's going to take out the pause too, so just like...
Oh geez, that was huge damage, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to see anything out of the pause.
Mm-hmm.
Strength Sap is huge though. So now this Scrafty pretty much is dead in the water. And we've got a full health Aubrey Lava.
Strength Sap as a move is just crazy.
It's pretty ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. That move is freaking spectacular.
Yeah, everything that's ever had it that I've had access to, I've been like, yeah, I want that shit. Are you kidding me? You telling me I get to nerf their Pokemon while healing myself? Like, based on their strength?
Yeah, exactly. The bigger the nerf, like you want to be nerfing those physical attackers, and that's going to give you more HP back. It's like, oh my gosh, this is
Hell yeah.
perfect.
Alright.
Ooh,
Oh,
yep.
yep. It's not gonna matter on these two Pokemon, but he does get the... Okay, well we're nerfing. We're nerfing everybody. Seed Sower's going up too, so...
Yeah. Yeah, Arboliva, that Chris is kind of becoming synonymous with it. Did he have it last year? Or
no, Arboliva was locked on Corey's team last year.
Okay. For some reason, I always I'm beginning to think, Speakman, Arboliva. It's just like hand in hand almost.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job with it. So you do love to see when somebody gets their hands on like a Pokemon and it just kind of like you said, it just becomes like a signature. You're like, this Pokemon and that trainer, like for sure.
Right.
I'll tell you who's not that way with Speakman, and that's Iron Jugulis. He finally dropped it this week.
Yeah. Iron Trash Can or something?
Yeah. He dropped it for, I think, Cresselia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. That sounds right. Which is a good pickup.
Yeah.
Crazy pickup.
It's crazy that ended up back on the wire.
That's a freaking mon right there.
Yeah, he got it for Cresselia.
I actually was doing some max raids, trying to get a Kyurem in Sword last night.
Okay.
I ran into a Cresselia and I did not kill it, and I was so hurt. I was like, oh, this would be a perfect Pokemon to catch. Nope, not today.
So yeah, I guess what are the legendaries based on? The legendaries we get access to max raids.
Are you saying like in general?
In this gen?
Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I was doing max raids on like last gen.
Oh, Sword and Shield. Okay, so
yeah,
you were going through the what's that little tunnel?
Yeah, the max raid den.
Yeah.
So I caught like a Terrakion last night, which was cool. I caught a what did I catch? A Nihilego. I caught like a few other things. I can't remember. A Raikou actually, but yeah, I was looking for a Kyurem. I haven't got it yet, so.
Apparently there is a way to catch it in Sword and Shield or Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, I talked to Snacksworth, and I got like a whole bunch of, I think I got 10 or 11 legendary like snacks, but Kyurem wasn't one of them. I was like, come on now.
Oh damn.
Now I gotta do some more BDQs to get access, which is unfortunate, but we'll get there. The Aqua Jet into the Storm Drain here, oh man, that's tough.
I really didn't realize that they were actually available in the game, so.
I think it's cool because once you get the snack, you can go find them, and they're just kind of out in Paldea, which is kind of interesting.
Are they shiny locked?
I think so, yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. I was watching a video of them last night, and I think it said they were, but I can't remember.
Scarlet Violet DLC.
And you know what's so funny?
Many of them are shiny locked, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I remember. I thought that's what they said. I was watching a couple videos actually, but so Reese has to switch out the Azumarill here because he's locked into Aqua Jet, which isn't gonna work. Oh look, I popped on mine. There was a drought. It's gonna kind of stifle that muddy water, which is cool. The turtle avoids it, which is double cool. Oh, that's not good. Ooh. He survives on 1 HP without the Focus Sash, so the invisible Focus Sash coming in clutch. You love or hate to see it, depending on which side of the battle you're on.
Yeah, I would have been so mad.
Jeez. But I guess now he threatens with extreme speed, though, so it's like, is it really safe, you know? Okay, the Depart type.
So that does suck. It looks like they are shiny locked. But it's like, max raid dens, they weren't shiny locked.
Yeah, right. Oh, I caught a Tapu Bulu last night. I rejected it, though. I didn't want to catch it. That's like the only shiny I don't have when they did the distribution 2 years ago. Which is like, oh man.
I've got a bunch of those left from the distribution back in the day.
I might need to get one. Actually, I think I might have got one from you now that I think about it. I'm not sure, though.
When they came out with those, we just like distributed a bunch of those.
Right. No, I do remember us doing the giveaways. That was fun. That was a fun time.
I would do that again, but like X kind of sucks now. Like, you know?
Right.
And then to come up with a Pokemon to give away every week was always such a pain in the ass.
Right.
And you
I'm
can't.
looking at this battle though. Reese is in a tough spot. I'm just like, because he gets picked up with an extreme speed here. The Scovillain is fast, granted, so he can extreme speed. He's gonna ignore the speed tiers. Yeah, he's in a tough spot, but I don't know.
Can we kill the Torkoal here? Does it hit? So one of the things that made it easier to do giveaways, and maybe this is why they took it away like this, was like GTS back in the day. I could just be like, I could advertise giveaways on Twitter and be like, just throw up a Magikarp asking for this, and I'm just going to be looking for Magikarps, and I'm just going to be giving away the Pokemon for Magikarps. So people would I would see a bunch of people throw up Magikarps or whatever, or like in in the chat, they'd be like, "What do I have to do?" I'd be like, "Throw up a Magikarp on GTS. I'll like search out your Magikarp and you tell me your trainer
Right.
name. I'll get you this legendary or whatever." And then I would just
Right,
be
right.
able to give them away, but we just don't have that access.
That
Like,
possibility, right?
I would have to like let people DM me on Twitch and give them a code, and then like while streaming, distribute them directly to the player, which is just like not super viable.
Right. It's not as easy as it was.
Yeah. All right, so we are gonna get the Terra Grass here.
I feel like Reese is still in a pretty good spot though, because Speakman thinks he can pick up the KO on the on this guy right here with the extreme
Does
speed.
not
Let's
get
see if
it.
that happens though. Yeah.
Now,
Yep. Super close, but no cigar.
Grass Crown on the True Head apparently is the green one. I wonder if it ever swaps or if it's always
It's kind of
on.
interesting. Right.
Scovilla just avoid Muddy Waters just not hitting this week. We do get the accuracy drop, but it's not enough to save the Cali roll.
I wonder, that probably wouldn't have KO'd anyways though, you think?
Well, he's
Or
pretty
keep the
low right now. It
sun.
probably wouldn't have. You're right because of resistance.
The sun resisting it, and it might have got snarled. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think
But,
it was still snarled.
Yeah, that would have been. It would have been close though.
And now we know the Arbor Lava is not faster than the Scoville, so Flamethrower under Sun.
Yeah.
Even though Arbor Lava has a shit ton of like good bulk, it's probably gonna still take the L.
But Reese kind of fought himself out of a bad situation there.
Yeah. Yeah, he well that's he's famous for that, right?
This was a good match. Yeah, this was the match that Speakman or Reese, like they're both good, so it's like it's a toss up really.
Yeah.
Reese's team, I always say it, but Reese's team is kind of cracked though. So
It's pretty cracked, but to only take the 2-0 there is nice for Speakman, and that actually that is I'm positive that's gonna maintain our top 2 spots for the standings. So it's gonna be a Reese Zach, and the plus minus is gonna be 15 to 13. So like really tight race there. And it could come down to next week because. Again, I don't know if you were listening when we were talking about it, but like Mike and Reese play next week, so they're both undefeated right now.
Oh yeah.
Going into next week, so we're automatically one of them is going to be defeated, and
Right.
then the score is going to change. So like if Mike can beat a Reese, Zach potentially if he wins next week could lap a Reese, or I could lap a Reese, etc. Depending on the score. On how it goes down, but yeah. I mean, if I win this week, we haven't seen my match yet. That's next.
Spoilers, no spoilers.
So it's me versus Dan is the next match, and I did not get a whole lot of time to prep this week. Like normally, what I've been doing is I've been making my Pokemon by like Tuesday. And then I've been like throwing down with just randoms to like get a feel for my team, because I want to make sure that my team is cohesive outside of that's the difference this year for me is that I've been trying to make sure my team works without caring about what my opponent's team is. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't wanna like just have a team that's spec'd out for my opponent, just to win. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I've been making my team as good as possible, and so I made it on Tuesday or I made it on Wednesday, and then like every time I went to do something, I was either playing the DLC or I was like just didn't have time. I was like watching Salem or something. I did not practice, and then the last day, Friday, I had like a Digimon card event. Sorry, Osamu, I know you hate to hear about that, but I had a Digimon card event, and I like didn't get to. I had to build my deck while Salem was napping, and like I concepted my deck, I built it, which took like a good 2 hours, which is like pretty much his whole nap, and then like he woke up, and I had slapped everything together and put it in my bag. And then like I played like 2 random matches against people, and I did pretty well, but like I didn't get the time I wanted. So I was trying to push it back to Saturday. And it was also like Dan's anniversary, so I was like, it's up to you. I'm not going to be back till like 10 or 11 because of this Digimon event. Like, I don't know if that's cool with you. He's like, that's fine. And then when I got back, I was like, hey, up to you if you want to do this. And he said, let's go. So we ran it on Friday night, and I was like a little nervous because he just got the keys. His team's pretty bulky. I didn't want to fight, but Zach made a good point when I was planning this team. I was like, yeah, but he's got the screen, so like, do I want to bring Brick Break? And he was like, I mean, honestly, dude, you're gonna bring screens too, and if it's gonna be a battle for like whose team is bulkier, your team is just bulkier. So like, I was like, okay, yeah. I was really scared of seeing Registeel and going for the Iron Defense off between my Garganackle and that one. Obviously, Garg a little bit better in that regard because I'm, gonna be Terra Ghost usually if I'm Terraing the Garg. I'm not gonna be weak to body press. But we both potentially could be weak to body press, so it's a little toss up. So the only new Pokemon on my team this week that I brought was finally bringing Kingdra, so my new Swift Swimmer, and I named it. I think it's Hi, I think is how you say it. It's nicknamed after a Finnish sniper from World War II,
there you go.
who was called like the demon of the snow or like the white death or something by the
That's dope.
Soviet Union. And he would just snipe the shit out of people with no scope. He literally no scoped people in World War II, like in the snow.
That is wild.
But all right, I'm ready to kick it off if you are.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and go. Simon, you can tell me probably if I said that name right? Because you're Danish, so you should know. I mean, I know it's Finnish, Danish, but you're European.
You know what it reminds me of? Like this morning I was on Steam just cruising around, and there's a new Metal Gear coming out, like Metal Gear 3, but it's like remastered with some new, or not new, but it's like some new for the game.
Snake Eater, I think that is one.
It's Snake Eater. It's Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid 3, but it's got like a little symbol instead of the 3, and it's like remastered. It looks freaking ridiculous. I was like, holy freaking crap, this looks ridiculous.
Metal Gear is always an excellent game.
Yeah.
4 was phenomenal. I mean, 5 was great too, but 4 was great.
I actually need to play those. So, I've never played 4 or 5, which is crazy.
He got, they're amazing. So he gets off the Intimidate, but that doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm thinking about salting the Dragon, but instead I'm going to go for the Iron Defense. I'm scared that, because Salamence can be a special attacker, and I'm scared that he is, so what I'm going to do is set up light screens here, because Indeedee I know is a special attacker. So I want to make sure that
you're scouting too. Like again, when you're playing the Ian, when you're playing the Reese, when you're playing Zach, it's like you don't know what they're going to do. You know they're going to do something. So it's like, we need to protect and scout this out real quick. And unfortunately, in this case, you kind of get set up on, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I got the predict, I got the Iron Defense off basically for free and I set up light screens. So like, now I'm like, do I knock off this Indeedee or do I set up Reflect? Because he could have technically,
something physical, yeah.
Yeah, might as well set up Reflect just in case, and I'll go ahead and Salt Cure the Dragon just in case. And this, I was like, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
For real, yeah.
And I think I Terra'd this turn, so he goes Terra Water, and I was like, yes, like, fuck yes, dude. And I don't actually Terra, so like, if he hits me here, this could be big for me. I could lose right here.
Oh snap! Yeah.
And the Hydro Pump. So you know what? He's got a point actually. If he had hit that helping handed Hydro Pump without my Terra, like I was weak to it, even with screens up, I probably would have taken the L there.
That would have been close. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can calculate real fast while we're going.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough miss, but that's the risk with Hydro Pump. You get big damage, but you know.
And I do get the salt on him, so like now he's a water type too, so the salt cure is going to be big on that. And then I'm like, well, I saw the Hydro Pump, so I'm going to go ahead and Terra Ghost, because fuck that.
Is that why Dan said he wanted to trade Salamence?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dan, it's still Salamence. You could have had anything in there and miss a Hydro Pump.
Right, exactly, yeah. But he did, so that was a whole turn that was just wasted for him. I get it, you know, he helping handed it, so the Indeedee didn't do anything. Then he goes for the Hurricane this turn on Delgado, and the Hurricane misses. So he misses 2 back to back. I get the knockoff on Indeedee, and I get another Iron Defense up because I'm like, fuck it, let's ball.
And that's the thing with Hurricane too. It's like you're out of range, so it's like, is it gonna hit? Is it not?
And yeah, Hurricane's even less accurate than Hydro Pump.
It looks like if he had, well, I guess assuming he had special attack investment, a Helping Hand Salamence with 252 special attack.
And Water Terra.
It is modest. Water Terra, Terrastalize. It does 102% minimum to Garganacl.
Yeah, so it would have killed. Even with light screen up?
Nope, not with light screen. Hold on. Slow down. With light screen, it does 81% max, so it wouldn't have killed. It would have been close because you already took a little bit of chip, but I don't think it would have killed. So
yeah, but I mean, Garganacl. The main thing is Garganacl wouldn't have been as big a problem later in game, which is like pretty big.
So right, yeah. Anytime you miss, it's definitely not spectacular. That's for sure. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's Pokemon though.
Yeah.
That is Pokemon.
So, now I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, we're good now.
Yeah, you're in a good spot. Are you +4 defense? You've got 2 of them up?
Yeah, I'm +4. And I'm like, let me see. You know what? I saw him do Dazzling Gleam a bunch. I'm not sure what Mechamaru's going to do. He might target my Locklear. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and Wide Guard here, because I want to hit this last knockoff if I can on this Indeedee. And he protects to Scout with the Mechamaru. And the Wide Guard is going to protect me against the Dazzling Gleam, so unfortunately. It was also just in case he did like, what's that Psychic Spread?
Expanding Force?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you know what I realized? When I click away from the screen, it pauses the video.
Oh, interesting. That's probably why you were off a little bit.
Yeah, because I clicked back to the video and I was like, this looks awfully familiar. And I think you were speaking to something else in the battle, and I was like, wait a minute. And I kind of tested it for a second. I was like, yeah, it pauses every single time. I just made it a new window. Hopefully I can avoid that in the future.
No worries.
That is crazy, though.
So, we picked up the Indeedee and the Salamence now. I'm +4 on my guard. He's more than half health. I'm figuring I'm going to leave this Delgado in just to see if I can get a free knockoff, maybe. Like, maybe he doesn't target me. So he does knock off my Locklear, but the Reflect and the +4 defense is going to make that not really hit that bad. And he does knock off my leftovers, which is pretty big because now I'm not going to be healing.
Yeah. That's never fun.
And I'll go ahead and Salt Cure up this Mechamaru so I can do consistent damage over time. So Grumman, named after the stealth jet. So I have Infiltrator on this one again because I knew he was going to bring screens. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and Flamethrower these keys.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah. He sets up the light screen. And I go for the body press on. even with the, I have Focus Sash, but I had the screens up, so it ended up not really mattering. Infiltrator's going to do more than half to the keys, and Body Press is going to put Mechamaru in a death stare with the Salt. So now I'm like, alright, well, we'll protect with my Jet engine, and I'll try to Body Press again to pick up the kill. The one thing, again, no offense, Dan. The one thing we do know about Dan is once something like triggers him a little bit, so like probably the misses there. Once he started missing, like it got to a point where it was really bad for him. He doesn't handle that type of like trigger stuff very well, so it like starts costing him in efficiencies. Light screen's already wore. Oh, my light screen's off. Okay, not his. And now I know I'm faster, so I'm like, screw it. Let's flamethrower or shadow ball the Cocomelon, I guess. This was a little bit of a surprise. I don't think he actually has reflect. I think he just has light screen because he did foul play, light screen. And then he does Sunny Day here to get the chlorophyll boost speed. And the expanding force is going to pick up the dub on me with the chlorophyll speed boost.
That is an interesting tech right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but you think Executor, you think slow. I do at least.
Yep, I mean, it's got that chlorophyll.
Mm-hmm.
So my reflect goes down. I've lost both screens now. I'm not feeling great about it. I know that he's got sun up, so I'm going to go ahead and just shut down. He just lost his sunsetter, so I'm going to go ahead and just shut down the chlorophyll.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're down to his last two Pokemon, but he does have screens up. He's got light screen up, so I'm not feeling great against the Electabuzz here.
Yeah, that's a good one for him to answer. Your remaining mons.
Yeah.
Outside of the Garganacl, kind of. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, also the tree. I was like, "Fuck, he protected." That sucks for me. The tree having access to Psychic is big against my Okidogi because it's fighting poison, and I already used my Terra.
Right.
And Earth Power just doesn't do shit. And then I wish I had Salt Cured the Thunderella, but instead, or Body Pressed it even, would have been great. But because I don't, unfortunately, the screen does protect it, and he stays alive. I'm like, come on, don't target my rock.
Oh, he made it through, yeah.
And my light screen is down, and my leftovers are gone, so finally my rock goes down. And I don't get the Salt Cure. I was trying to get the freeze, you know, those legendary freezes.
Mm-hmm.
He loses his light screen now, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I pull in my sniper. And I know he's gonna probably protect the guy here, so I'm like, I probably shouldn't Ice Beam it, but I'm gonna Ice Beam it. Should have probably double targeted the Electabuzz, but instead I just Ice Beam this spot, which I've already seen him protect, so like I know that it's a possibility of something that he probably is gonna do, and he does. Because double targeting the Electabuzz here probably picks it up.
Maybe him going for like a Thunder there into the Toadstool even like might have been a better play, but just considering the fact that he's in a tough spot, you know.
Yeah, he's trying to get a little bit more of that speed control here.
Yeah. Because now I guess he could go for Thunder now if he doesn't get killed, because he's faster for sure. You know,
Yeah.
I think we've seen 2 of them now, 2 electro webs. So maybe I mean that was a solid option.
Yeah, because you might get the speed control here, so.
Right, and then with the not the electabuzz, but the tree, it's got to be relatively fast because he ran it with chlorophyll. So that makes sense. Yeah, I could see it. I see the play. I see it playing out.
Just trying to get that speed dominance so that he can. And the follow me sucks for me, because now I'm not getting the ice beam off on the tree. But if I had double targeted last turn, we can see that this would have killed.
Yeah, and see, I think he is playing to the. He knows the okie dokies in the back, so he's like, if I can just survive with the tree to get there, anything's possible, you know?
Right.
Even if he gets that psychic off, it's going down for sure, so.
Or, I think he's got the expanding force, but yeah.
Right, yeah, yep. So I see it, yep.
So,
But now it's, yeah, tough spot. You got the ice beam pressure, and then fake out from okie dokie, right?
no, it doesn't. It has access. I don't think it has fake out, but it has access to upper hand. But what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna. I was about to gunk shot, and I was like, "Do I want a gunk shot? Should I go for a 100% effective?" I'm gonna do the knockoff.
Yeah, that's those. You gunk shot there, you miss, and it's a wrap. You know.
Yeah, and I do outspeed with the dog. He was surprised to see that. I also wasn't sure if I would outspeed or not, but I was glad that I did.
Yeah. No, you both played well. That was a really solid endgame.
Yeah. Definitely he brought it back huge. Like we had a huge advantage early on, and then he was able to play the protect game at the end and pick up some sweet little follow me's and shit, and I targeted incorrectly, so like I sacrificed some score, but I was able to pick it up with the okie dokie coming in clutch at the end there. And that actually, I think this is the last match of the week. It's your match, sir.
Yo, rivalry matches. Always fun.
The players of equal skill, I believe, is what we refer to this one as.
Yep.
So bring us in. Tell us, what was going through your mind during this.
I think I felt good going in because Simon's team, Dark type, matches up pretty well against his team. Yeah, I guess outside of the Zapdos that I'm looking at now, but I felt like it matched up pretty well. I think he had Glastrier, Spectrier. I wasn't really super scared of because I could always sucker punch, and that was gonna kill pretty much 100% of the time.
Right.
But then again, like, what's it gonna do? Shadow all me, so it can't expanding for it. It can't shadow. Like, what's it gonna do? So I wasn't super concerned with the Spectrier. Glastrier, I actually should have respected that a little more, but I think I wanted to set up Malamar because I could go for some superpowers. It's gonna set up my defense. I could set up my special defense with fake tears with Illumise if I got the opportunity to. So I was thinking about that. Other than that, though, I was thinking, I'm probably going to see Grafai up front, so I'm going to lead Suicune so that I can't get faked out. Go for some Calm Minds potentially, get that set up, and I'm going to go with Grimsnarl up front so I can set up my screens. And also, if I'm in the opportunity, if I get the opportunity to, I could fake out Calm Mind, or I can fake out, Scald. I can have options. I could set up screens. I could Thunder Wave. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to leave that up front. I can't get faked out with Suicune, so that's good. Other than that, Grim for speed control with Thunder Wave. Articuno, I think, had Tailwind just in case. Illumise had Tailwind as well, so I feel pretty good. So, yeah, that's kind of a little bit of details, a little bit of history behind my team.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. So we'll just kick right into it here.
Let's do it.
Let me check one more thing here.
And also, I didn't want to lose to Simon because Simon kind of spoke this rivalry into existence. Like, there's not really much reason that Simon and I would have a rivalry outside of him just saying, "Hey, this is a rivalry now," and it just kind of happened. So, didn't want to lose this one. It actually feels like a rivalry match now. I think Jay asked me on the podcast. He was like, "Yo, did you get are you nervous for the match?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm nervous." I'm not as nervous. No, what did I say? I think I said I was more nervous for this match than I was going into Season 5 finals because, everything's on the line. My pride is on the line with this match. But I was more nervous going into potentially Game 3 of Season 5 finals than I was over this match. So, interesting perspective.
Yeah, well, all right. Let's kick it off. See what these players of equal skill can do. Let's do one, two, three, and go.
And even looking at Simon's team now, I was like set on he's gonna go Grafai next to Cleavor so he can get the spikes up. So that's kind of why I wanted to go Suicune too, because I just figured, I think his last couple matches he's led Cleavor and gone with that rock type move that tries to get the spikes. So that's what I was thinking. But yeah, again, a little more backstory.
Right. Okay. And he's got the I made this friggin' bird for him like 3 weeks ago, like 4 weeks ago now. Like I made that bird, he never brought it. That I saw actually. That some of his matches weren't recorded. I don't really remember him bringing the bird, but I made it for him a while ago because this was one of the event birds. Because they re-released them as their shiny forms.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it up front, actually. I was like, okay, well, he's going to go for Tailwind. He's going to try to get some nasty moves off. I didn't really fear the Zapdos right here, though. I did Terra Ground, because that's, I was thinking, Wild Charge or something like that. It's going to just immediately stop that. And it doesn't turn out to happen. The Tailwind goes up, and I'm like, whoa, that was unexpected. And I'm also kind of in a bad spot, because I can't Thunder Wave these mons either, so I'm like... That was my speed control,
Yeah.
with Grimmsnarl, and now that's just not an option. So I was like, well, in this situation, I've got a Reflector Light Screen. I think I ended up, I just missed it, but I think I Reflect.
You light screen, which is probably the right call because you just got the wind power on the bird.
Well, that's what I thought too, but I think it does something different than I was thinking. Shiftry has Wind Rider, and I was thinking that the bird had the same thing. But so I think I set up the Reflect thinking that it was physical.
No, I'm pretty sure you set up screens, but we'll see. Oh yeah, you did set up screen Reflect. Okay.
Yeah, because then I go down to a Thunder, just kind of getting a couple seconds ahead here. But then this kills actually. I was like, holy crap, that was unexpected. And come to find out, it actually has Charge, so it's electric type moves get like super powerful when you set up the Tailwind. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Had I known that, maybe I go, Light Screen there, but it's all good. And then maybe Grimmsnarl stays alive for a little bit longer, but but no. I just gotta do a little more homework,
That was big though. That was a big Thunderbolt.
Yeah, no, it was. I was really surprised to see Grim go down. Yeah, it was kind of unexpected, but I was in a bad spot with Grimmsnarl anyways, though, because I was really thinking, like, this lead just completely caught me off guard, because I wasn't thinking it at all, or considering it at all. But, yeah. And it was a pretty solid op. He Tailwinds. You're thinking that the Bird's End's going to Tailwind. The Zapdos is kind of here for big damage, and he's Tailwind with the Zapdos. Again, that kind of took me off guard, too, so.
Dude, here's the crazy thing about it, is, like, it's when Tailwind takes effects, or when it's hit by a wind move.
Yeah. No, it's a solid ability. And just everyone take that away. If you get Tailwind set up on you and the Kilowattrel's in, it doesn't raise its attack.
Yeah. Yep, it just charges.
Yep, learn from my mistake. So.
And what exactly is charged in Pokemon? What is it?
I think it's like electric type moves just get stronger for the next turn or something like that.
It will deal twice the amount of damage.
Jeez, that's a lot. Good Lord.
That was a 180 base Thunderbolt.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I think here, so he has his Tailwind up, so he's clearly faster than me. I can set up priority Tailwind. I was like, well, that's, clearly an option. But if I protect, I can set up priority Tailwind next turn, and I'll have 2 turns of Tailwind when his goes down.
So I was like,
that's a pretty solid option, too.
190 base because it's 95 base power for the Thunderbolt.
That's wild, yeah.
Oh, no. That was sorry. They nerfed Thunderbolt a little bit. It was 180. It used to be apparently 95 base power Thunderbolt, and then they were like, no, that's too much.
That's too OP.
We're gonna bring it down to 90.
Alright.
Calm Mind goes up, and the Icicle Crash. Ooh, you're bulky, but
I didn't think about that either. Like, even in the moment, I was like, what was I thinking? Like, I'm a ground type in front of an ice type. I don't think I was thinking that I was a ground type in the moment. And when I saw it come out, I was like, oh, crap.
fuck, I'm a ground type.
Yeah. So here goes the fake tears, which is, I thought this was pretty solid. I'm +1 to Suicune. I'm going to survive a Brave Bird, regardless. I guess, hindsight was kind of risky because he could have just attacked into the enemies, but I kind of thought that he wanted to see the Suicune go down since he just saw the Icicle Crash do so much damage.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened, so that's awesome. And luckily I live on 3.
Hey, and
It's
the
a little
Tailwind
closer.
Beaters.
Yeah, so now I'm in a good spot. Free Tailwind, Yeah, I kind of have my options now. It's like, okay, I'm +1 Suicune, what do I want to hit? I think I went into Glastrier thinking that the Zapdos could potentially protect, and I was under the impression that the Glastrier was AV since it took that so well. So luckily he didn't protect there. The protect really would have screwed me though.
Yeah, you did take it out, so that's good news for you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He
That's why
followed-
Simon, I said, like, yeah, like he knocks off the Suicune, which is, the free KO basically. But I was saying, like, if Simon, if he would have protected just a couple turns here or there, he probably could have come away pretty easily with this. Because I'm already down, like, 2 Pokemon with 1 Pokemon on 1 HP, so it's like,
Yeah.
I was in a bad spot.
Yeah.
But I got the Tailwind up, so I'm not in a terrible spot,
Right. No, it's definitely looking like and you're gonna get the aggro on this. You're gonna get the aggro on this knockoff on your bird, so like might as well protect, right? Hit the struggle bug. Oh, we don't go for the protect. Oh, eh. Do we go for the protect?
So I think I went for a struggle bug. That's weird.
Well, it's
Probably
not
should have
that
faked
weird.
you. Oh, actually, you know what I did? I was thinking that this was going to take it down to Sash, and then the struggle bug was going to pick up the KO. That's exactly what I thought. So I'm thinking, like, all right, Shadow Ball into this. It's Life Orb. It's going to take it down to Sash for sure. And it didn't. And I was like, well, that's not good.
The struggle bug in general, losing that special attack is good as fuck for him.
Yeah.
He does get the free Grimnay boost here because the 1 HP. So like, what? Although if I were him, I would have fucking targeted the bird. Like, it's weak to that. Like, I would have just screw that Illumise, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah, that probably would have been maybe he was thinking knockoff was going to KO. But
that's a good point.
and it gets close. So yeah, that would have been a solid call though, honestly. At this point, like, I'm not worried about the horse at all because again, Sucker Punch is in the back. Like, I'm really not scared about it. I think I go for a superpower. Someone just joined Discord. Oh nope, I'm tripping. But yeah, superpower into Zapdos here is a free KO again, unless he protects. So that's a situation where a protect could have changed the outcome here.
Right.
And then I think I probably just Shadow Balled the horse, or actually I might have. What did I do? Shadow Ball the horse?
You're faster than it, so.
Oh yeah, he takes it out. He's probably thinking if he can just preserve it, he's probably faster than all my mons once the tailwind goes down.
Double switches, okay.
And there goes the Grafai.
I
was kind of stressed about that thing all day or all week.
Okay. And then you get
So I get the
boost.
attack and defense boost, which is dope. Malamar is pretty freaking sweet.
What do you get?
And he actually had Mirror Herb, yeah.
Oh.
He was saying that he ran Mirror Herb so he could, what's it called? Not flatter. What's the move where it boosts your attack but confuses? With Grafai? Can't think of it for the life of me right now for some reason.
I can't think of it either, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he was thinking he could do that into, my mons, and then his...
Mirror would go off.
Exactly. Yeah, he's gonna get the attack boost, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, he got
Um,
a pretty good boost off of you.
yeah. No, the attack defense is pretty solid. I feel like I'm like in a pretty good spot though. This is gonna hit with stab. We just saw it do almost 50% with Shadow Ball, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I felt, and I think the psychic here, yeah, the psycho cut. I was like, yeah, we just saw it do almost 50% as a not super effective move. So super effective is definitely gonna get the KO, and I'm +1 attack now, so
Yeah.
felt pretty good. Again, that tailwind, getting that tailwind up late was pretty clutch.
Yeah, he unfortunately did not set up his own tailwind to try to get speed advantage on the Malamar. But
Yeah, I think at this point, because my tailwind just went down, I was like, yeah, I'd probably lose Articuno here. I'll try to set up a tailwind. Maybe he doesn't. But it probably goes down. I was thinking this is definitely gonna take the L here.
oh no.
Granny kiss. That freaked me out for a second. I was like, oh my gosh, what's that gonna do? Not enough.
If he had Shadow Ball, god damn it, Simon. You're so close.
Yeah, and there goes the knockoff. So yeah, I kind of figured that was gonna happen. But again, I'm not really stressed though, because a superpower here. When he did that draining kiss though, I was like, whoa, is that gonna kill me? And I freaked out for just a split second.
Yeah.
And luckily it didn't do, really much. So
Yeah. That sucks.
because he's gonna have the sucker punch in the back, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not scared of the horse at all.
Well, yeah, with the sucker punch, it's pretty much over, and your reflect goes down. But like, again, it doesn't really matter here.
Mm-hmm.
Bisharp finally gets to put in work for the first time.
You know it. Yeah, Bisharp is pretty solid.
Screw it, sucker punch, and that's good.
And there we go. So I come out rivalry match, which was cool.
Good W, Jordan. I had made a deal with Simon because he asked me. He was like, "Yo, if I win this week, can I come on stream?" I was like, "Sure." If you win this, I was like, "If you win this week, you can come on stream and commentate your match." Sure.
Dang.
And unfortunately, he did not come away with the W. So you hate to see it. Swagger, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, he's got the covert cloak on it, and then Swagger covert cloak on the Zapdos was one of the craziest Simon-esque plays. You don't want to block your opponent. The stats drop. Scared of fake out. Yeah. Oh well, you came away with the rivalry dub on the 2-0. So that's really good for you. Let's. Oh, you're already
Get me
updated.
back to
All
2
right.
and 2.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
and just grab yours
the
too.
boop. And I
But
also
yeah,
added
I
my
come
team.
away. I didn't want to lose that one because that also puts me at 1 and 3, which is a hole to climb out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
2
yeah,
and 2 is a lot. It feels a lot more manageable. Like it's really not much different if you think about it, because it's an extra win versus an extra loss, but it just feels more manageable. So I was happy to come away with the dub there. So
no, I definitely feel that, man. And so like that was a crazy week, man. And we have so I'm looking at the scores here. We still have 3 players, unfortunately, who have yet to pick up a W this season, and that is SB, Justin, and Evan. So that's unfortunate for them, but we're still early in the season. We have 8 weeks left. This is still very much so a game that you can turn around. Or like us at the top here, we can come away with a loss any second now, and start falling down the pipeline, because we do have a couple people like Brian is now a 3-1, Jay Wade is a 3-1, I think. So like they're nipping at our heels, and then we got the 2-2s and the 1-3s that are there. So we still got a close race here. It's not the top 4 does not change in any way. It stays me, Aris, or it stays Aris, Zach, me, Mike in that order. And next week it will change, though. I will tell you that. So Reese or Mike are going to take a loss. They have to because they play each other. So any of the 3-1s, if they win next week and go to 4-1, potentially, let's see, Brian, where's his score? Nope, actually, I don't think any of them can pass because the scores are just so high. Technically, I guess, yeah, if Mike loses by a good margin and Brian wins next week again by a good margin, technically he might be able to pass Mike because I think Mike's at 7. So if Mike loses by like 4 and goes down to 3, and then Brian wins by
4 puts him at
3
5.
or
Yeah.
4, yeah, because
Hmm.
we didn't calculate his score here. He did win by, I think he actually won by 5 this week.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
So yeah,
Never
actually
good.
he doesn't. Mike doesn't even have to lose by that much if he loses. No offense, Mike.
Yeah.
You
Well, I mean,
you of all people know Reese's play style probably the best. So like you have the best chance against that matchup. But if Mike loses next week and Brian picks up a W, like pretty much almost assuredly, Brian will lap. Um, but yeah, so we'll see next week what happens there. He could also lap me because if I lose next week, I could go down. Zach could lose next week, but I don't think he. Depends on his score. He could technically lap Zach too. It really just depends on what happens. Next week is up in the air.
mhm.
But no matter what, I don't think he can lap. I don't think he can lap a Reese unless a Reese loses by like a significant amount, which um, Mike and a Reese's matches are always close.
Yeah, I think Reese is safe though because he just won by 6. He's at plus 19, so
He
it's like
didn't
he
win by
loses by
6, did
6,
he?
put it back.
He won by
Yeah.
2.
Oh, am I tripping? I'm thinking about
Yeah, you're tripping.
weeks prior. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he won by 2
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
right. That's right. No, I am tripping.
I
Yeah,
was like, what?
it's gonna be a. I was thinking last week. That plus 6 was still in my mind. So yeah.
Yeah, so he technically, so he won by 2, so he's 15. And right now Brian won by 5 that week or this week, so like he is 6.
Hmm.
If Reese loses by a good margin, which again not super likely, like if Reese loses is already a big one. But Mike's team is really fucking good, so. But if Reese loses by a big margin and Brian wins by a big margin, technically he has the potential to lap Reese, but it's very unlikely. He has a better chance of lapping Mike, but we don't know what's going to happen there. And who knows? Let's bring that up. Let's actually bring up who
Take
plays
a look
who
at
next
matchups.
week.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to
Hmm.
pull that here, week 4, the upcoming matches. Boom. So this is your upcoming matches for next week. It's going to be Dan versus Simon. Simon coming off of his rivalry loss, looking for another dub to shore up that 2-3. Dan, mad as fuck, looking to really like shore up his own score. So I'm sure he's going to try to just just mop. No offense, Simon. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying like that's what Dan's probably going for. He's probably going for the mop as much as he can. Now we got Evan versus Justin. So here's another thing. Reese and Mike have no losses. So one of them is guaranteed to lose next week. Evan versus Justin. They have no wins. So Evan or Justin is going to win next week. One of them is going to win. Now, if Justin wins, Justin will get his first point for the season. If Evan wins, this is clutch. If Evan beats Justin next week, that will be his first PLC season victory ever. So, Evan, now's your time. If you really want to pick up a W, like this is the potential for your first W. Justin's not an easy opponent necessarily, and he does not want to go down, but he's definitely going to be your best chance to pick up your first season W. This is a good match chance for you. And then we have you versus so Jordan Wade versus Jordan Herrera, the battle of the Jordans. Um,
Hmm.
that should be good. That's you both have pretty good teams. Jay Wade, I would say, is very unorthodox, but like also kind of by the book. It's hard to say, what he's gonna do. Sometimes he's gonna go out of the box. Sometimes he's gonna go by the book, and his team is pretty good. You just really shored up a good pick this week with your drop. What'd you
Yeah.
pick up? Would you pick up
I
again?
got Kieran, which is pretty nasty. I
Yeah,
just needed some offense. I needed something that threatened big, and that threatens big. You know,
yeah,
that's kind of the big thing. So
yeah, and
Suicune
it's
was
also
good.
kind of
Suicune was
bulky
great.
too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like with screens access, and I thought about it's weak to fighting, but I have Clefairy next to it, so I could always just follow me there. So I mean, it's a good mod for me. So
Yeah, no, overall, it definitely brings your team to where you wanted it to go because, like we had discussed in past weeks, you had a very like support heavy core, especially with both your
right.
asterisks kind of being more
Mm-hmm.
support. Even though Suicune could do sweep stuff, it is more of like a bulky supporter for the team.
Yeah.
Uh, and then
Exactly.
and then Grimsnarl, same kind of deal with like fake out and screens and thunder waves
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So now you've got that 1-2 punch with your asterisks with like you maintained bulk pretty much with QREM, but now you have some good offensive pressure that you can do.
Exactly.
And it has support options because it does have access to like breaking swipe and stuff if you wanted to like lower offense on the opponent's side. So you that was a great pickup for you. So that should be a good match.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Then we got Brendan versus Ty. That should be a cool one. Ty looking to pick up another W this season. Brendan, I don't really. Brendan's in the middle this year. He's doing all right. He wants to climb the ranks, so I know he's looking for a W here. His team. Let me look at this team here.
Yeah, I think Brendan's been playing pretty well. He's 2-2 now.
Yeah,
But again, he's making a name for himself these last couple
he
seasons.
he
So
finally has snow because we took the asterisk off of Obama snow, so he's got native snow for his Titan, which is cool for him. Um, and so he's got a little bit of a core going here with like kind of a trick roomy offensive core, you know. Um, it's interesting. He's his team actually picking up that Obama snow uh, and getting the Pokemon that he has. Now he does kind of have a decent like he's got supporting cast with Sinestro and Cyclizar, and then the slows. You know he has Regenerator on those access. The Tauros Blaze for Intimidate support and just damage. Hisui and Ursaluna for big damage and Trick Room players. So Titan can play in Trick Room or it can play in Snow, which is huge. Belly Bolt's just great. So yeah, he does. He really shored up his team with that. So um, Brendan versus Ty should be an interesting match. Hopefully we can see a good W from one of them. Speakman versus SB. Um, SB looking for his first W. Speakman really just looking to put bodies on the map. So we'll see what happens there. Because Speakman, has had kind of a rough start to his season. He wants to bounce back. Brian Mills versus Jay Grants. Grant's looking for her second victory. Brian Mills looking to pass one of the top four players. So that'll be really interesting. Then me versus Jay, the Battle of the Hudson. Um, that's a rivalry match. And
love it. Love the name, by the way.
right, yeah, it was a good battle. New York versus New Jersey, baby. Um, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because one, Jay is a great player. I think he has a better rain team than me, and then also, he's looking to pick up a W after his loss to Grants and Zach. He's looking to try to turn out of this tailspin and not go for a third loss in a row. So that's going to be a really hard battle for me, and I'm going to have to mind my P's and Q's if I'm going to try to pick up a W. Then shoring up the last two matches, we have the Phil versus Zach. So what would have been a Samu versus Zach, that would have been interesting to see. Now we have an old tale as old as time, Phil versus Zach. We all kind of grew up together, so that's been happening for a while. Um, you love to see it. I think that Phil is looking to pick up another W this week. I think he's 2-2 now. Now that he's gotten back into the swing of things, because Samu lost to Mike, then he won, then he lost to Ty, and then Philip won last week against Jay Grants. So now he's 2-2. He's looking to get that positive score for the 3-2 and looking to take Zach down a notch. And Zach is looking to try to pass a recent score if possible. They're pretty close. It could happen depending on how much Zach wins by, if Reese loses, etc. So Zach's fighting for that first spot. And then lastly, the Battle of the Brothers, Reese versus Mike. Both undefeated. Got to pick up, much like the contrast of Evan versus Justin. Neither of them have a W yet. Somebody's going to get a W. Mike versus Reese. Neither of them have a loss yet. Somebody's going to get a loss. So that is big. We have an exciting week next week for you guys.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, well, I
It's gonna
just
be a good
wanted
time.
exactly. Just wanted to thank you so much for helping this week with the stream and joining. Um, and
No problem.
yeah, I appreciate that, Jordan, for joining us and playing with the matches with me. And
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
guys for watching. And we'll see you guys next week for PLC Season 9, Week 5. Peace out.
See you guys.